Good evening, Tallahassee. Welcome to your Tuesday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Chris Malve. As we take a live look at Doak, gorgeous sunsets right now. We're at 71 degrees. And for tonight in Tallahassee, we're going to be seeing about mild temperatures. We're going to be at 63 degrees. So not too hot. So if you are going out tonight, maybe bring a light coat. But for tomorrow, we are still going to be seeing those warm temperatures as we reach 78 degrees tomorrow with a slight breeze. For your day planner tomorrow, watch out. There is a chance of some rain around 9 in the morning tomorrow, so maybe bring an umbrella with you to class tomorrow. But we are going to be warming up into the mid-70s by the afternoon and early evening hours. And as we take a look at tonight's headlines, we're taking a trip to the city that never sleeps. We're going to be talking about the high chances of rain and storms in Tallahassee through Thursday, so that could definitely impact some of your plans later on this week and even into the weekend where you could see that chance of rain on Sunday. And of course, Trivia Tuesday. You don't want to miss it. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Good evening and happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Sloan Delaney.
And I'm student meteorologist Ayana Clemens, and we are super excited for today's show. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, including New York. You're going to talk about New York today.
I can't wait to talk about New York, definitely. But in more exciting news, this is actually Ayana's very first show as a 21-year-old. We made sure to wish her happy birthday yesterday, but here she is today. And a late happy birthday to you today. How was your birthday?
It was good. It was good. I went to the fountain like most people do, and climbed the fountain. It was fun. It was a little scary, but it was fun. Yeah. And now I feel old, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. Welcome to the 21 Club. But yeah, like you said, we have a lot to talk about today on FSU Weather. We are not doing the trivia desk today, though. Not me and you, but Chris and Matt will make sure to do trivia with you guys, and you guys will hopefully have a great time.
Yeah, and definitely comment below, like, whatever questions you guys have throughout the show. But we're going to talk about a lot. We're going to talk a little bit about the national as well. There's a lot going on in the U.S. right now. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. But for now, that's pretty much all we have. But stay tuned for the rest of the show. We're going to head over to Ainsley with the local.
Yes, good evening. Right now we've got our live look at Doak, and we've got that beautiful sunset happening. You can tell that the sun is starting to set a little later now, so we're enjoying that little bits of sunlight as we get further into the night. We don't have anything in terms of rain right now for the area, but we are looking at a lot of clouds that are going to be passing through, so save your stargazing hopes for another day, but it's going to roll into tomorrow as well, and really just keep the cloudy area over the whole area. And for our temperatures, we really are seeing those 70s, which is really nice, mild temperatures that you don't get a lot in February, so definitely make sure to go outside, enjoy a lot of that. We're seeing 71 in Tallahassee and other low to mid 70s all across the board. And for our humidity, it is pretty muggy, but with our mild temperatures, we should be looking at a lot of, honestly, nice things outside. You really shouldn't feel too uncomfortable. Maybe your hair will get a little bit poofy. That's about it. And for our rain, we are getting some rain on the front and back end of the weekend. We're going to see it on Thursday and Sunday. Just bring your umbrella and just be prepared for those days. But half your weekend's going to be sunny, so definitely make sure to get outside and just enjoy the nice weather while you can. For tonight, we're seeing mid-70s all over the area and 67 in Tallahassee. Another one of those nights to just get out. It's not going to be super clear out, but you can definitely go outside, do a lot of those other outdoor activities while you can. And for tomorrow, we're going to reach 79 here in Tallahassee. It's going to be very warm. It's creeping up to that toasty weather that we usually see way later in like more towards May, even June. So definitely take that time. And for our week ahead, we are seeing same thing, rain chance on Thursday, and it's going to reach into Sunday, but we'll take some turns towards the middle of the week. We're going to just have on and off sunshine. But yeah, definitely make sure to spend as much time as you can outdoors, of course, on the days that are sunny, because we don't get this kind of weather very often. And now we are going to hand it over to Chris for the Florida.
That's right. Thank you so much, Ainsley. And now as you take a look around the state of Florida, you can see we do have some pretty nice sunsets over here in Orlando. Pretty similar conditions here in Tampa. Do have some more clouds, though, in Jacksonville. A little bit cooler, too, because of that cloud cover. So that's why we're seeing those temperatures at 66 degrees right now. But also very nice sunset over there in Pensacola. So now let's take a look at the state of Florida. We're seeing those temperatures on either side of 70 degrees. We're a little bit cooler up here towards Pensacola and Tallahassee. And as I just mentioned, in Jacksonville, a little bit cooler. But we're staying nice and warm here as we'd expect in South Florida, 79 degrees there in Orlando. And we're still staying quite muggy too. Our dew points are in the 60s, so it's definitely feeling a little bit more humid outside. So it's definitely, beginning to feel like spring out there. Dew points are pretty high. I mean, look at this, 70 in Key West. As we take a look at our heat indexes, when you combine those high dew points and our high temperatures, and once they're pretty close, that's why we see our high heat indexes like we see here in Orlando at 81. And now we're going to kind of hop around to several different cities in the state of Florida. As we look at Pensacola, we can see those showers and storms begin to creep into our forecast for Wednesday and Thursday, but looks like things will begin to dry out on Friday. And now as we take a look at Orlando, we're going to see very warm temperatures, 87. Like, it is already feeling like summer out there. But because of that front that is going to be moving through the state, we are going to cool down on Friday and get back into the 70s, which, is still kind of warm for Florida, but definitely a little bit cooler than what we're seeing or what we're going to be expecting in the next couple days. For Miami, 80s across the board for the next couple days. Very nice weather for this time of year. And as I've just teased with that front, we can be seeing a lot more rain, especially up here in the southeast, but Tallahassee is still going to get in on some of that rain action. You can get at least half an inch or more of rain. And as we take a look at tonight's forecast, we can see that we're going to have some cloudy conditions. Again, you want to be careful for fog. We've been seeing that pattern a lot here recently. But really, now is the time to just soak up that very pleasant weather, because in the next couple days, it's going to be pretty gloomy outside with those showers and storms rolling through the area. And for tomorrow's forecast, we're going to stay warm, the calm before the storm, so definitely soak up that sunshine before we see those downpours move into our area. For Tallahassee, going to be at 79 degrees, much warmer here in South Florida, 87 in Orlando, and 83 in Tampa. So we've really been seeing these warm temperatures in the state of Florida, and we're starting to get that cool down the way with those showers and storms moving into the area. But Matthew, what does the southeast look like?
Yeah, as we look at the southeast, it's been a different story just about everywhere. You can see in North Carolina, we have a beautiful sunset. Charleston, it's pretty gloomy outside. Atlanta, maybe a little bit of fog, but in Orlando, nice and clear for the most part. You can see, look, we have this cold front pushing through. You can see that line right here dividing the orange and green, making it pretty obvious on where these showers are occurring, as Jackson sitting at 55. But on the other side of that line, Montgomery at 69, sitting very nicely compared to some of its counterparts. And then for our mugginess, you can see over here in Florida, we're sitting in those 60s, but that cold front is really drying out a lot of these areas. Jackson and Nashville sitting in the 50s and 40s compared to some of their neighbors, much drier in those areas. For New Orleans, you can see, look at this, 70% on Wednesday as that cold front will roll through, but a stronger one will roll through on Saturday, which will affect your Friday and Saturday plans, so maybe not the best days to go outside. Our current radar, you can see that line is just pushing through all the way through Jackson. They're getting a lot of rain right here and over into Atlanta and Memphis, but here in Tallahassee, we are very dry right now. But Futurecast, you can see that front will push through Wednesday and Thursday. We'll get that line sometime on Thursday around noon, is where we could see some storms, maybe a possibly isolated thunderstorm for the most part, but those heavier thunderstorms we expect with that stronger front on Sunday. But you can see in Atlanta, about 3.5 inches, Jackson 3.5. You can see just along this line, that Dixie Alley area is where we can see a lot of that rainfall for those areas. Here in Tallahassee, we'll see about 3/4 of an inch, so we'll get a decent amount of rainfall, but it will be these areas up here that will see a good chunk of the rain tomorrow and into Thursday. You can see those temperatures for tomorrow will drop off significantly. Atlanta, 45. They were sitting in the 60s today, so a very good drop off in degrees for them. For us here, we'll be seeing a little bit cooler than those 80s we've seen earlier this week and last week, but much better overall. And then for tomorrow's forecast, we will be cloudy here, but you can see as this front makes its way through, it'll push on through, bringing some rain to a lot of those areas. Montgomery 71, Atlanta 48, and all the way up here in Charleston, we could see 41 as that cold front will bring some colder temps for those areas. And all the way up here in Nashville, just around that freezing line is where we could see some possible snow, maybe even some sleet for those areas just around that Kentucky-Tennessee border. So make sure if you are in those areas, you're taking your precautions, you're making your winter weather plans, as you could see some winter precipitation in those areas. But here in Tallahassee and the very southern regions, we could see very nice temperatures for tomorrow. That's very good for me, as I will be trying to study outside for my Spanish and my stats test. But in New York, where the concrete jungles are made, Sloan, what does it look like?
Yes, absolutely, Matt. This week we're traveling to New York City. Very, very exciting. Again, concrete jungle, so very, very exciting things. I did get the chance to visit New York City just a few summers ago, but it was very, very warm when I went. But look at that, you guys, 34 degrees, definitely very, very cold. If you're from right here in Tallahassee, Florida, where we are, you're probably not used to seeing these very, very cold temperatures. We're hanging on just above freezing. Cloudy for your night in New York City if you have the absolute privilege of being there right now. But the big story for today and going into tomorrow morning is going to be the snow that is coming to New York. So really the timing for that snow is going to be tonight and then also into tomorrow morning. Some areas of New York could see up to 1 to 2 inches of precipitation in the form of snow. So really it's going to be something to watch out for if you have any late night plans tonight, if you're traveling on the roads at all. Definitely just be very, very aware of that snow that could accumulate on the roads tonight. The snow is forecasted to stop before sunrise, so if you do have any plans tomorrow, should be okay for your morning commute tomorrow. But again, these temperatures are hanging on just around freezing for tonight, about 10 p.m. Going to be perfect for those snowy conditions. So definitely just be aware of that if you do find yourself in New York. But tomorrow, it's going to, again, be very, very, very frigid. It's going to warm up to about 36 degrees by 5 p.m. But again, those low to mid 30s are definitely way too cold for me personally. I'm definitely more of a summer girl. But there's lots to do in New York City. You can go see a Broadway show and bundle up, get your earmuffs, get your scarf on, that big coat for sure. But the rest of this weekend is also going to be pretty cold as well. That's kind of the story that we're looking at. It's going to warm up just a little bit on Thursday. That's going to make conditions a little bit better for rain compared to snow. It's not going to get below that 32-degree mark. So if you have any plans on Thursday, make sure to bring that umbrella because you are probably going to see some rain. But into this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it's going to drop in that temperature. So Friday into Saturday night, look at that, 28 degrees. It's going to be a very, very good conditions for that snow to form on Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday are definitely going to be those days to look out for some of that weather. I know New York is known as the city that never sleeps, but you know, this weekend might be a very, very great time to get some sleep in. Bundle up, stay at home because it's not going to be a very good weather. But Ayana, what does the rest of the country look like besides just New York?
Yeah, so currently those temperatures are definitely getting a lot colder throughout the U.S., and that's kind of going to be the story of what's going on here in the U.S. Up in Bismarck, we're looking at -1, so very cold up there. But as we head a little bit more south, here, especially in Tallahassee, we're looking at 71, and 76 is going to be our high in New Orleans and Miami. So warmer temperatures in the southeast for sure. But as we head up into Boston area and even Washington, D.C., they're seeing some snow and Sloan was just talking about in New York, some snow as well. But if we head, there we go, we're going to get to the next graphic eventually. If we look at those dew points, it is sitting very dry, and that's going to be making things a lot colder as well. So very dry up in Bismarck, but as we head into those tropical areas, it's going to be a little bit muggier here in Tallahassee. And like I was just talking about, that temperature outlook, it's a lot colder throughout the entire U.S. than we're normally used to. So colder temperatures, that's the story for this week and the next couple of days. And on top of that, that front is going to be the reason why we are seeing those colder temperatures. So that front's going to make its way through the whole U.S., you know, passing St. Louis right now. But it's going to bring us lots of showers. We got a lot going on here, lots of thunderstorms kind of making its way through the Atlanta area and parts of the southeast. But definitely sitting in a high pressure zone up here in Minneapolis area. That's going to keep things a little bit clearer up there. But we're going to see a lot going on here in the U.S., especially with that precip. And speaking of, look at those rainfall amounts. There's a lot going on here in Atlanta, so well, not here in Atlanta. I'm not in Atlanta, but in Atlanta, there's going to be a lot of rain for sure, and as well as San Francisco, they're going to be seeing a lot of rainfall amounts, even up to around like 5 or 7 inches of rain. And so that's going to be something to keep note of if you're in those areas. And for tonight, we are going to be seeing some snow in Denver. So if you're in Denver, you're definitely going to need to keep an eye on that. But again, really cold up north, -16 in Bismarck. Bismarck is just very cold. Bundle up if you're there. Maybe stay indoors. Grab some hot cocoa. It's going to be a cold one. But if you head down to Miami, we're looking at nice 71. Miami is always warm, so nothing too shocked about Miami being the warmest. But then up in Boston, we're looking at 24, so cold temperatures, especially over in the New York area, like Sloan was talking about. And for tomorrow, we are seeing that cold temperatures make its way through here in the U.S. and again, bringing some snow and precip to, that Chicagoland area, which is where I am from. So definitely keep note of your flights. I know some people are getting some delays as well. So keep a note as those storms make its way through with that cold front. But we're going to kind of take things back over to the desk with some trivia now.
Yeah, so I think it's time to quiz Chris here on his weather phenomenon trivia, as I know he's been learning a lot of it in radio transfer.
That's right. I actually do have a quiz, or rather a midterm on Thursday, which I've definitely been studying for and will continue to study for. And I'm definitely looking forward to this week's edition of Trivia Tuesday. So the first question to start off tonight, what do you call the clouds that people mistake for UFOs?
Oof. Gosh, that's a tough one. You know what? I'm gonna go with my go-to answer here, and I'm gonna go with a cumulus cloud. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I had something different in mind. I remember learning about. I think it was in like climatology. I think it was called like a lenticular cloud. It's kind of shaped like an eyeball, kind of. But oh, look at that! And lucky guess.
Wow, man.
Somehow came back to my memory. But
wow, man. It's like maybe you were just you saw that cloud and I just didn't in that climatology class. But let's see what the next question that we got coming up is. So, what do you call a wall of dust that is many times accompanied by a blue sky?
Ooh, this is a tricky one. This one's not exactly coming back to my memory. I don't know. The thing I think of that's coming to my mind is I'm gonna roll with like a dust storm, or maybe. I was thinking like a haboob, kind of similar, but I don't know. I might be off on this one. This is pretty tricky.
So let's see what we got here as our answer.
We locked. Okay, wait. We kind of locked in.
Okay. So what's right? All right. Let's see what the last was in. Maybe Chris can go 3 for 3 here. What do you call the halo that often forms around the sun when it is low on the horizon? Ooh. I'm thinking it just doesn't come to my mind. You got a guess?
Honestly, this one, I kind of think it's like in the question. Like, I think it's literally just like a sun halo. Like, I don't know. I think it's like kind of in the question. Like,
well,
we'll see if it's like,
let's see if you're right here.
Toss, yeah.
Broke the streak. Wasn't it?
We were close to passing.
But very, very good info to know for those of you who look up at the sky at those clouds. But we're going to turn it over to Ayana because with all this weather going on, how is this going to affect my lifestyle plans for this week?
Yeah, Matthew, so great question. And we are going to be looking good here in Tallahassee tonight. So lots of beautiful sunsets. Definitely head over around campus, go on a nice walk right now before it gets dark out. It's going to be really beautiful. Doak Campbell Stadium is looking really beautiful as well. But for the nightlife forecast, we're getting into those mid-60s, and that's kind of the story for tonight. Maybe that's a little bit cold for you, maybe bring a jacket, but for me, I think that's just right. So I definitely will be heading out tonight, maybe go get some dinner after this. And for the dog walk forecast now, if you were thinking about walking your dog, maybe 9 a.m. would not be the best time because we're going to see some showers make their way through. But it's going to be cloudy tomorrow, so not as sunny as we've been seeing the last few days. But if that's okay with you, then go ahead and head out at 11. I think 72 will be nice and warm for you to walk your dog. And for tomorrow's poolcast, definitely don't tan at 9 a.m. I personally don't tan at 9 a.m. anyways, but it's going to be, like I was talking about, you're going to see some showers. But as we head into the afternoon, those clouds are going to kind of make their way out a little bit, and you are going to be looking at a nice 78 around 3, so very warm. If you want to go spend some time by the pool, that would be the time to do so. And for the beach cam, we're looking kind of gloomy. It's a little sad out there right now. Lots of fog, and you're not really seeing much, but it's 71 and warm. So here in Tallahassee, it's definitely really nice temperatures, and it will be until, you know, the rest of this week comes along and we see those showers. But it's nice at the beach if you wanted to, you know, just spend some time out there. It's nice 71. And for the hair cast, I don't have any issues with my hair being wavy in the temperatures that usually gets some wavy. But, you know, if that is something that is the case for you, then definitely keep note of that as you head out for the evening. And if you want to go hiking, it'll be 63, and we've got some winds, but nothing to worry about. It might be a little bit cloudy and gloomy, but if you still want to go head out for a hike, you could definitely do that at the Florida Trail. And for those, for the airport in Tallahassee, we're not seeing many delays, and that's kind of the story through the rest of the night. And for tomorrow morning, we're not really seeing much delays, so that's really nice to see if you plan on traveling. And then for tomorrow, a nice 79, and we've got some winds really making its way through with that front that's going to kind of make its way here in Tallahassee. And then that's also bringing some showers here on Thursday, so keep note of that if you plan on going out. But we're going to take it back over to the desk one last time with Matthew and Chris.
Yeah, Chris, what do you plan to do with one last day before the showers roll in on Thursday?
Well, I definitely think I'm going to be studying outside, you know, soaking up that sunshine before that cold front arrives and brings a lot of those thunderstorms and just that those cooler temperatures on the way, even for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm just, you know, I got my Spanish test tomorrow, so I think that weather, honestly, tomorrow will really fit my mood. A little bit of hope with that sunshine, but those clouds just inevitably rolling in and kind of ruining my day. So we'll just see what happens, to be honest, with the weather. But be aware Thursday there will be that rain, so maybe don't want to go outside. Possibly IMs getting canceled due to rain and flooding. So make sure you're aware of that if you are in IMs or if you have any plans on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll definitely be making sure to bring my umbrella to my radio transfer exam on Thursday.
Yes, I'm hoping that hopefully this rain doesn't stick around too long, as I don't want it to ruin any of my Valentine's Day plans. But hopefully we get some much needed rain that we haven't seen here in quite a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to it, but I'm definitely mostly looking forward to that sunshine later on in the day tomorrow. I know tomorrow it's going to be a little cloudy to start off the day, but definitely looking forward to that sunshine before we see some of that rain. But make sure to follow us on X at FSU Weather.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at FSU Weather as well.
And just like, make sure to follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
If you're already watching us on YouTube, hit subscribe and follow us on FSU Weather.
And if you still have it, make sure to follow us on TikTok.
And we're going to take one last look at your 7-day forecast.